Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the Hate Journals. It's your girl Black Mamba, and of course the wonderful and beautiful, talented AP. Hi.
What's up?
How's it going?
Oh, it's just a chilly Tuesday evening.
I know.
Chilly.
I know, it's very
Emphasis.
chilly. And yeah, it's that COVID season, baby. Mm-hmm. Y'all need to stay at home. I don't understand what's so hard to understand. Stay your asses at home.
Yeah.
I don't get what is so difficult to understand about this. It's going to be very scary in the next 2 weeks.
Yeah. Yeah.
If we keep getting the surges that we got Saturday and Sunday, then yeah. And a lot of the outbreaks are at schools.
Yeah.
A lot of them are at school.
The young people.
Or those young kids.
Those youngins.
Well, they're so gross. Children are disgusting.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, they're cute.
Yeah.
But they're little cesspools of germs.
Yeah.
And they want to touch everything.
Well, it's actually from what I was listening. Well, I guess you're right. There were some elementary, but a lot of the high schools too. Like the high schools, I get it because you're all fucking
amped up.
You're all amped up. You're all just full of sperm and fucking ready to just fuck it up. You know what I mean? You're trying to put your fucking mouth on everybody's mouth and shit. It's the little kids who are just like, eating Skittles off the fucking ground. Like they're fine, but it's really honestly the
well, and they're close to their parents' faces. That's the other issue. So if you're a small kid,
a lot of face talkers,
well, if you have a baby, you're holding the baby, you're holding the little kid, you're giving him bath time, you're giving him, and so if you have a parent that is contracted COVID, then of course their kid's gonna get it. Yeah, of course. I mean, they're right in your mouth all the time.
It's true.
Yeah, it's the closest. Not until about
Kane has
8.
sneezed in my mouth before, not once, but several times, and it always catches me by surprise. But the thing that I know he's learning is it's caught him by surprise.
Right.
Like, now he
Did
knows
I just spit in your mouth?
When it happens, he's like, that was a mistake.
Right. He's like, wow, that got away from me. So that really got away from me. Yeah. It's going to be interesting to see. I just wish I know everybody wants to have fun. Trust me. So do I. But you guys, we're going to pay for it in the long run. Well, I mean, it's winter. There's very few places we're going to be able to go anyways. Yeah. And now that's going to get even smaller. Yeah. And the sun's not out, so you can't go get sun, and you can't go for a walk. It's too fucking cold. Yeah. You guys, please, just stay home. Yeah. I know it's boring. Get to know yourself again. Hey, knock, knock, knock. Who is it? It's me, and I want to get to know myself.
Oh, it's you again.
Hey, it's you again.
Turns out I don't like that very much. No, honestly, you guys, we know it's such a stressful time. Shit, all of us are feeling it in one way or the other. And, it's exhausting, frankly. I just, sat outside, rocking my feet like a little baby bitch. And I was just like, what's going on? Oh, those are nerves.
Yep, those are nerves.
Just nerves from the day.
That's it, just from the everyday life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, there's that. I know you guys were all shocked at a COVID update. But
we actually haven't talked about COVID in months.
Have we not?
No, we have not talked about COVID in months.
Oh, maybe it's just the daily buzz.
Because we've been doing it, I don't know, for about 9 months now. So it just feels like our everyday.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That's so
9
weird.
months. 10 months. 10 months we've been doing this. So it's our everyday. What's there to talk about? Right. I think we all. Yeah. Except now, apparently, I have to go back to day one again and remind you motherfuckers to keep your dirty, fucking, filthy asses at home. I don't know what I got to tell you guys. What can I convince you?
Really? We're just a bunch of little mongrels?
If you're that bored, here's what I need you guys to do. Do you have an extra spare room?
It's called
Maybe
TikTok.
You have a garage. Maybe you have a bathroom that's a guest bathroom, and obviously no guests. Turn that bitch into a bar. Make 2 bars.
Ooh, a tiki bar.
Make a tiki bar and then make a club, right?
Yeah,
like a disco ball.
Theme it.
Yeah, go to Amazon, go wild. And then if you're feeling like, fuck, I just missed the bar so much, call a bunch of your friends, get an iPad, an iPhone, get in that room, get that tiki room going, and start making yourself some cocktails. Bump some music, even put on some sunglasses, rose-colored, and just pretend as if you were, get inventful, okay? What do people do in prison? Okay, you don't think they miss the bars, huh? You don't think they miss going out and busting one off, huh? Maybe a little stanky leg, maybe some crunking, but you know what they do? They make the best of the situation they have.
Crunking, that is a word I haven't heard in a minute.
Well, I have been watching a lot of. I got to tell you something. So I was on vacation, and I just went back to work today. And I will tell you, no joke, that I watched a lot of Netflix, a lot of old like sitcom shows. You know, I love a good sitcom. And I got to tell you, 2013 was a great time for my people. We had all of the shows, Sister, Sister, Half and Half, Girlfriends.
Sister was 2013?
When it was like when they were getting older and it was like relevant. Yeah, 2013. They were all 2013. Half and Half. I legit, it's about two sisters that are half sisters that like come back together. I cried no less than 4 times. I had to turn it off. I had to turn it off. I'm not even joking.
That's pure gold. I am making a list right now of all of the 90s Christmas, because I don't even think they make, Elf was a good one, obviously, but they don't make Christmas movies like they made, 90s Christmas movies.
No, they did not. And they were legit.
And it was really funny because Kevin McAllister, Home Alone, obviously, Macaulay
Yes.
Culkin, the way he talks to his parents
Is wild.
wild.
The way that all of those children talk to their parents and the amount of like rushing around and screaming. I'm like, this just didn't happen in my house. Like we
there's
acted
a
like
lot
soldiers.
of physical violence.
There's a
Oh, I'm
a
sorry.
lot of hands. A lot of hands being touched on my body.
Yeah, like if
Yeah.
I said something,
Yeah.
there was a lot of hands into the body or the face, back of the head a lot,
Back of the head a lot.
Like wake up.
Yeah.
You know?
Sometimes my mom was good for a good hair pull, just like a quick one, like
Oh,
fucking what?
Yeah.
Bink what?
Oh yeah, my dad liked to flick us on the
Yeah.
face,
Yeah.
with a spoon,
Yeah. Which is not a fun time.
which is not a flick
doesn't
at all.
sound fun.
It's you hitting me in the face
With
with
a
a
spoon.
spoon.
It's exactly what it sounds like. Yeah.
But I think in his mind he thought it was a flick,
Right.
like it was like a low key thing, but it was like very much inappropriate.
Right.
But I also didn't talk like Kevin McAllister, so like
Yeah.
I don't know, effective.
You weren't running around with a tarantula in your hand being like, Kevin, get over here. Yeah.
Also, if I would have been like, hey, mom and dad, I want a pet fucking tarantula.
My mom would have laughed all the way to the kitchen and never answered me. She would have just laughed.
She would have been like, I always knew you were going to do great things, but that one was a gas.
The only time my parents let me have what I call a quote unquote exotic animal was so we had dogs growing up. Okay. Okay. We had dogs growing up, but not the kind of dogs that I have in my home right now. We had 2 Rottweilers,
Yeah.
Geechee and Tyson. And my dad was like, oh no, these are for protection. These are not dogs that you kids play with at all. I mean, sometimes I would walk in the backyard. We had a huge backyard. And sometimes I would walk in the backyard. And Tyson, who was a huge fucking Rottweiler, he would hit that fucking fence. Like, he was trying to kill his own owner. Like, I was like, dude, we're on the same team.
Yeah.
We're both
like,
black.
I love the energy.
What is wrong with you? Like, I love what you're doing, but, like, maybe let's bring it down a little bit.
Jesus.
I remember once my dad had a big screen TV. They tried to get delivered, and the guy saw Tyson, and he was like, "Dude, I'm not going to the backyard." My dad was like, "It's a huge kennel. He's not going to get out." Guy was like, "Can't trust it. He seems like he really wants to get to me." Anyways, so I kept telling my mom, like, I really want a pet. Like, I want my own little pet.
Yes.
So she was like, "What are we thinking?" I said, "A hamster." She said, "Okay." I was shocked. You ever have your parents say yes to something?
Caught him on that day.
Yeah, and you are thoroughly shocked.
Yes.
Okay, but
But
my
you
mom,
act cool.
Yeah, you're like,
you knew
oh,
it was gonna be yes the whole
shit.
time.
Yeah, but
get
you don't want to
quiet.
fucking and you know not to ask twice. Like, let's
Like,
go now.
Yes. Yeah.
And let's go now
Yeah.
before you change your mind.
Yeah. Because you
Um,
just said yes, and I know this is an off-brand.
Like, you're mad at dad.
Yeah, some shit
went down.
and you're gonna come home and you're gonna give him a fucking smile,
Right.
looking at him like, look what I just
Look
brought
what I
home,
just bought
bitch.
us, bitch. A fucking hamster. But the only problem is my mom is just like us. Like, very clean person.
Yeah.
And so I named her Neela. Do you know what that name comes from? Neela? I named her after Neela from Lion King, who I just thought was beautiful.
Are you talking about Nala?
Okay, maybe Nala. Was it Nala?
It was very much Nala.
Okay, well.
Actually,
I mean, she's dead, so what does she know? Okay. Both didn't work out. Okay.
the amount of conviction.
That I said it
You're
was.
all, do you know what this is from? Like, I was just gonna nail it, and then you looking at me like with those eyes, like, what? And then Neela was what we got.
Neela was what we got. I apologize. I really thought it was...
It was Nala's cousin.
Nala's cousin.
Well, I obviously
what it
saw
was.
that in the back shot.
Right. I mean, she was only on screen for about 3 minutes, but she really left an impact on me personally.
You cannot cut that.
No. Because I told you I'm turning into my mom where I'm mispronouncing people's names, mispronouncing words all the time.
So much conviction.
Oh, yeah. And I mean, fire. I go, how else are you going to make someone believe what you're saying?
That was solid, dude.
I remember coming home and I ran upstairs to see Nala. Yeah. She was not there. And the cage was gone.
Oh, like the whole memory was wiped.
Yeah, so I run downstairs immediately, and I'm in a panic, obviously. My mom goes, oh, she's outside. I was cleaning your room. I cleaned the cage. I put her back in. She's Gucci. I completely forgot. I was cleaning all day. I left her outside.
Oh.
I mean, but kind of the only problem with that was it was May. Okay. So it was a smooth, 98 out. So I will never forget as long as I live going out there. And she's burnt to a crisp. Her little brains were coming out of her nose. Oh, yeah. I was hysterical.
One, here in May, it doesn't typically hit 98. So that had to be an off-brand
It was
May.
it was back in the 90s. So back in the 90s, I mean, you were young. When were you born? What year?
90. So
you wouldn't have remembered. You would have been a baby. But it was like... we're going through a horrible drought those 2 years and in the 90s. And I remember distinctly for winter, I was in shorts, kicking it. We were in the streets for Christmas break in shorts, just kicking it in our bikes, riding around. And we had a horrible, horrible drought. It was to the point where, and I know a lot of you will remember this, it got to the point where you are not allowed to water your grass at all. And if the city came down and found you watering your grass, I think it was wild. It was like a $500 fine. That's how much of a drought we were going through. It was just wild. We just summer never ended.
So she was out all day. I assume no water. She just was melted?
She had water, but I mean, she's still a hamster. And the glaring heat, I don't know if you know much about hamsters. But I don't think they're summertime animals.
Well, I think that's been proven.
Yeah, it wasn't great. And I remember I was so upset. And my mom, when you're a parent now, I know. I know. Because back then, I remember thinking, this bitch doesn't give a shit. But now as a parent, I know the guilt you feel is so tremendous. And you have to play it off like it's no big deal.
Well, right.
And I just remember looking at her, and it was the very first time I ever told her I hated her. I said, I hate you.
That one
you
kind
did
of
this
warrants it, though.
On purpose, and you just didn't want me to have a hamster. And you regretted it as soon as you bought it, and I will never fucking forgive you. And I want everybody dressed up in black because we were having a goddamn funeral.
Yeah.
And we did. And I didn't speak to her for 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Honey, you gotta speak to me. I'm your mother. Do you want some dinner? Sorry, Inger, do you see someone in here? Because I feel like there's a ghost.
Yeah.
Because like your son said, you know what my best friend wouldn't do? Leave a fucking hamster out in the sun. She's a family member. She's a goddamn family member.
I mean,
she's a patriarch of this family.
That is pretty traumatic.
It was very traumatic. And because my sisters, who were not my mother's favorite, clearly, because this wasn't our hamster, this was my hamster.
Yeah.
And so they were salty about it. So they were just like,
bye, hamster.
Oh, look at that. Oh, did your hamster die?
Sisters.
Should we pour one out for Neela?
They're the fucking worst. Speaking of childhood trauma, my cousin got this little cat, and
was it a little cat or was it a cat?
It was a kitten.
It was a kitten, there's nothing cuter.
Nothing
until
cuter.
they turn to cats.
It wasn't one of those little teeny silky ones. It was the puff ball.
Oh, you just had to, adorable.
Blow, get the hair away from the face.
Yes, to get in there and
get in there and actually see it.
Yeah.
And so she was, you know how kids are with their new puppies or kittens or anything. And her mom was dating a new guy who happened to have a Rottweiler.
Oh no, this sounds like it's gonna end bad.
I really thought you were leading up with the Rottweiler thing, and I was like, wow, this is an issue. So we're kids, and we play with her, and my dad comes to pick me up, and we say, bye, kitty, and we give him a kiss, and she walks out with me.
And attended too long.
And, well, the dog had gotten into the playroom.
Where the kitten was. Wow. So it was a male cat or a male dog?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was, I mean, she had literally kissed it, brought me out to the truck.
Came back and it was a full-on massacre. Kitty massacre.
Could you imagine?
Because how do you be mad at the dog, obviously? It's the dog's just doing what dogs do. But, like, how do you love that dog again?
I don't know, dude. I've seen a lot of dogs interact with other animals and massacres not happen. Of course, there's the thing that happens with, you know, dogs, and there's just aggressive animals in general. Shit, there's some cats. One time my friend, she always told me I couldn't go into her apartment, and I just thought she was being a bitch. No, dude. I went in, cat straight attacked. Like, have you ever been attacked by a cat? It is the most wild experience.
I had a cat for like a decade.
It is the wild and out experience.
Cats are pretty wild.
Because you just like, they can get everywhere so fast.
Quick.
They're like shadows.
Quick. Yeah, they're like a real superhero.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And it was hissing, and it was like doing the batting arm thing like in the air. Like, bitch, what? Like, it was like we had to be separated. And I was like, dude, I had to tell her, I said, I thought this entire time you were either first guess, which is the nice one, is that you're a slob. You know, some people who just know themselves and they're like, they were like, you can't
see this.
Yeah.
This isn't for anybody.
That. But sometimes I got to get in there for a quick sec. Do I need to pee? Do I need to, like, you know what I mean? Like, a friend needs to, like, be able to pop in and out.
Right.
And she was always like, hard stop.
She was like, bitch, trust me, you don't want to go in there.
And I was like, okay, so either you're a slob. She always said that it was the cat thing. And I was like, there's no fucking way. Dude, this cat was nuts. That's the only other dog besides King fucking Killer over there that I ever saw act like that. I mean, on site.
Yeah, you didn't even get 1 foot in.
I wish there was guard cats.
You needed one. Because there's no way when it comes to a cat that you can...
shoot a dog or kick a dog because they're so big. Not that I want to envision this, but you can. Because they're like lower creatures. No. And they can't like hop to the top of the couch and then come across
they really can
horizontally.
If they really want to get you.
Well, yeah, they'll get creative. But you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like the cats, they could like fly.
Yes. Quickly. Right? You won't even see it coming.
I'm just saying... It was alarming.
When we first got Peaches, you know, she's small. And so one day I'm sitting in the bed with Bill and we're watching television or some bullshit. And I watch Major and he's clearly bigger than her. I mean, he weighs about 20 pounds. He's much bigger than Peaches is, obviously. Yeah. And I saw him one day, he was sitting down and she kept jumping up at his neck. I mean, her teeth aren't sharp, so she's not going to hurt him at all. But he was really annoyed. And he kept taking his paw and putting it on her head and being like, bitch, I'm telling you, enough. And she just like kept going at it. And he leaned down slowly, put her entire head into his mouth, picked her body up and threw her. And then I, of course, immediately fucking flipped out. And Bill goes, no, they do this all the time. I said, what? You can't, Bill, you can't let her. He goes, Alex, they're fine. Look at her. She's coming right back. She's fine. She's a go-getter. Like, what happens when I'm not here?
Dude, I know. It's anarchy when you're not here. I guarantee it.
Yeah. It's wild. I had a cat for a really long time. Mr. Kitty was his name. He was a tabby cat. And he was a very good cat. But the weird thing about me owning the cat was, first of all, I got it as a kitten years earlier. Like, I got the cat when I was probably 18, when I moved out on my own. And then I got rid of the cat probably when I was 26 or something, 27. Anyways, not the point. The point is, I necessarily don't trust cats, right? Because a dog you can read.
Yeah.
A cat you cannot. Even your own fucking cat. You cannot read. I mean, I own that motherfucker. He slept with me, but you could not read him. He didn't really like to be held a lot. Sometimes he did, sometimes he didn't. If he was mad at me, he would go and take a piss in the kitty litter box and just kick the kitty litter everywhere, just all out of the box, just as much as he could. It was like, if I had been out partying too long, yeah, he was like, oh, you think you're cute, bitch.
Oh.
Uh-huh.
How about you clean up a bunch of cat shit and then really sit there and simmer?
Right. He's like, you know what's going to be hilarious? When you get home at 3 o'clock in the morning drunk and you slide and smack your face on the ground after falling on kitty litter. you bitch. Leaving me a mound of kitty food is not what I'm asking for. I need you to come home, okay?
Yeah.
But he was a great cat, but when I got Max really stressed him out, and so his tail started going bald. I mean, that's pretty much the story, so I had to make a tough decision. Do I get rid of the dog, or do I get rid of the cat? I'm not getting rid of the dog. Even though I'd had the cat for years.
Max loved you.
Well, Max was a baby. And if anything, it was Mr. Kitty's issue. I mean, it's your issue, dude. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, like we were all going to be together.
Yeah.
And you obviously aren't enjoying the arrangement any longer.
Right.
And I really want this fucking dog.
Well, I mean, first of all, Max is adorable. And so is Kitty. But I also felt like I had just bought him from or had rescued him from this lady who was just treating him like shit. So for me to turn around then and give him to another person after he's been with me for 6 months, I felt like that was super unfair.
Right.
Whereas Kitty had this great life with me, this lap of luxury. I mean, the cat had its own rocking chair. So I felt like as long as I found a very good home for him, which I did, it was okay.
Yeah.
And again, I didn't trust the cat.
You're actually speaking to company because I, besides childhood animals, have never developed a personal relationship with an animal. And I'm here for it.
If you think you love your children, wait till you love a dog. It is the wildest shit. Because there's something that a dog has that a child doesn't, in the sense that a dog cannot speak to you. They can only communicate. They have to find ways to communicate with you. So when they show you real love, like come to you, like sometimes Major will pat my face, or he'll come next to me and he'll put his face on mine and lay down. That's his only way of communicating, which is so beautiful. A child's going to grow up and be like, I love you. You can maybe get annoyed with with a person, and still love your child, obviously. Yeah. But a dog relies 100% on you for the rest of their life. Whereas a child grows up.
It's so funny. All of these things that you're listing out as if these are like positives on the dog side, you're really just chipping away at my ever knowing that I really made the right decision, because the idea of another thing depending solely on me makes me want to die.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, that's definitely don't have that feeling.
Like you could see it. Like this dog comes home. He needs me to take care of him. I have human children, but he pats my face occasionally. It's not adding up for me.
You gotta trust me on this one. It's like you know when you see women go through childbirth and you're like, I don't understand why you would do it.
I have a plan. I understand. We have a plan. We want the family dog because I feel like when you get a family dog and you watch your children grow with this animal and you obviously all develop your own personal relationships with this animal.
Right.
Perfect. We're really excited about that. Then once that dog ultimately goes, we will not be doing that again. Kids will grow up, go to college, and then Ian and I will purchase our empty nesters dog. I feel like you have 2 phases of dog.
You think that you're going to end up?
And then we will have something to love us.
You guys are going to end up with 3 children and 2 fucking dogs. I know. It is so difficult when you look in the beautiful eyes of a beautiful little baby dog.
I know.
And you smell that.
I always avoid puppies.
Oh, dude, you have to.
Yeah.
That's how you get a dog.
Because the best cure for me and dogs is being around dogs. Mm-hmm. Every time I'm around, it's like kids that aren't your own. Every time you're around a child that is not yours, and occasionally there's great kids, I have to say that, where you like wish your kid would do that shit.
Yeah.
That's a whole new level.
You're like, this bitch is tap dancing. She's opera singing. And she's already got a degree. She's 10. What the fuck are you doing? But I love you.
Yeah, but you're so cute.
But you're so cute.
Yeah, and then somebody's like dog runs up to you and they like jump in your face and they're licking, and then the other person, it's like a kid thing. It's the same. They're like, oh my God, he loves you. And I'm just like, this fucking
When have I ever said this to you? When have I ever
Your dog has never jumped up and put his tongue in my face.
That's a true story.
You have small dogs. They bark. They're around. And Peaches and me have a very special kinship.
How can you not?
You can't not.
How do you not look at a 2-pound dog?
She's a fucking hot dog.
She's a hot dog.
Like, when I'm sitting here and recording sometimes, you guys, I'm holding Peaches as a hot dog.
As a hot dog.
Like, she's in one hand. Like, you don't hold a hot dog with two hands and be wild.
No.
You just hold it with the one hand, and occasionally you might catch some spillage, but you're not even fully holding it.
And she gets so excited she grunts because she can't get the airway because the airway is so small. I mean,
and Peaches doesn't even make noise, which I don't care about. Bark. It's like we've said, kids cry, dogs bark. I have that's not it. I just got a lot on my fucking plate. And
no, this is not the time for you to have a dog.
I passed it, right? You either have the dogs, you love
and
the
then
dogs,
you have your kids
and
with
then you
the
have
dog,
that.
Or you have to wait. You have to wait till at least that littlest one is at least 3.5.
Yeah, because the second the dog pisses me off, and I don't believe this about animals, like, they're gone.
You're like, see you later.
No. I can't have a Mr. Kitty on my hands.
Plus, your kids are small, so you just don't want the dog to ever, little kids can be very aggressive.
I am just so not worried about something happening aggressively between the kids or the animals.
Oh, you definitely should.
The extra care of one more thing needing my love.
No, that's true, but I'm telling you, when Keek was little, she used to do this thing where she used to love to kidnap Major and just keep him in her room. Well, he doesn't like it. He's the only one of the 3 dogs. He does not want to be in there. He's like, look at how you live, like an animal. Why would I want to be in here? Get me out of here, Mom.
I need to go to my room.
So when she would go to pick him up, he would growl. He'd go. And she would not take the hint. And I said, one day, he's going to fucking bite you, and he is not going to get in trouble. That growling is a warning sign. That is him telling you he doesn't like it. He doesn't want it. And you're not. You're like a rapist. You're not taking a fucking hint. Get the fuck out of here, bro. I told you I don't want to fucking
Maybe we could just
say
say like a kidnapper.
Okay, like a kidnapper.
I feel like a rapist we just jumped there.
Was that? Well, because he's like, I don't want you to touch me. And she's like, oh, I'm touching you.
And I'm taking you
in
captivity.
Right.
Kind of like a kidnapper.
Oh, okay.
I feel like you're making a lot of really like convicted statements, and I know you're not.
It's been a long day.
You're not hitting it on the head.
Right.
But I have to be here to back you up.
Thank you.
I don't think Keek is a rapist of dogs.
No, obviously. Right. A kidnapper okay, sure. A kidnapper. I used to be like, dude, the dog's gonna fucking maul your face. Stop,
and that's fine. That's how we grew up. If we were fucking with the dogs and my dad or mom were like, yo, they don't want to be fucked with right now. Or, I used to remember my sister, because she was 6 years younger than me. She'd pick up the cat because it was a big fat cat. And when they walk with him and their little straight cat arms are just hanging down.
Yeah.
And the cat wasn't digging it, but he wasn't like a fucking asshole. He wasn't like biting her. And the cat's just like straight arms, and like she's like carrying him, and his little ass is just like swaying
back and forth. Oh, yeah,
One
she's having a
thing
blast.
The cat did like, and this tickles me, is remember those really tiny little strollers we all used to play with and push our baby dolls in?
Yes, I have one for the dogs.
Well, the cat, Joe would put the cat in there. Bitch would have her push him around the whole house. Like, you think of a cat sitting in that thing? No, the second she put him in the baby stroller, he was fucking cruising.
Yeah.
Loved it.
He was like, why wouldn't he? Free ride, bitch.
Purring.
Bye.
Like, when they purr so loud, it's vibrating?
Yeah.
Oh, he's like, finally, someone
gets it. He's like, hey, can we swing by my food? I got to make a quick stop.
Yeah,
I just want a couple things of kibble. Just a couple.
Hey, road trip. Road snacks.
Yeah, dude, I don't know. I always, it's funny because Bill and I will lay in bed and just watch them. Like, they're so cute. We got so lucky with 3 crazy-ass dogs. But, you want to hear a wild story? You guys ready? Buckle up. It's a pretty wild story. So, I told you, I don't know if you guys know, any of our listeners, but I used to have a dog. The reason why I got Max originally was I had another dog called Mr. Peterson. And his name was Mr. Peterson because he looked like he had a bow tie. He looked like he was English, and he sat up, and he was a Chiweenie. Most beautiful dog you ever saw, truly. Mm-hmm. He had one ear that stood straight up, one that laid down at all times. When he got really excited, really got up there. When he walked, he skipped. So he'd walk, skip, walk, skip, skip. And he looked very formal, like he was going to very regal, very much, like he was going to go to a very posh dinner party. So I had him for a long time, and I was working a lot, and the guy I was dating at the time was working a lot, and so he was getting lonely. You could just see it. I mean, he was really depressed. He would sit in his bed. He wouldn't even like greet me anymore. He was just like, ugh. Oh, look who it is, the deserter. Come back again to desert me. You know, because I would come home, get dressed, leave, go to the gym, go out with friends. You know, he was just like, dude, Mom, what are you doing?
Yeah.
So I said, okay, let's get him another dog, a pal, a friend. And him and Max immediately were thick as thieves, just like the best friends. Max was so little that he would lay in the bed with Peterson, and Peterson would just let him. And they were just this cute little duo. And when I split from my ex, I said, okay, I've got 2 decisions to make. Over the years, Mr. Peterson, because he wasn't working, he was home all day. Mm-hmm. So truly, Mr. Peterson just really got closer to him because he was home all day.
Yeah.
So I said, I have a decision to make. I'm leaving this dude. Do I split the dogs up and then we'll do custody? Ugh. Or which I remember you doing. I will never forget you picking me up in the PT Cruiser with a giant fucking...
I was doing that to be a bitch.
Okay, listen.
You know it.
Please. I mean, you pulled up like it was super, no big deal. And so... I said, okay, I'm going to make a tough decision. I'm going to leave Peterson with him. I'm going to take Max. We will split custody so the boys can more or less be together still. So about 8 months later, I get a phone call from this dipshit. And he's like panicked, just full panic in his voice. And he's like, you need to call me back. And at this point, we haven't been talking really at all, except for the dogs. And he's like, you got to call me back. Something happened to Mr. Peterson. Immediately, I'm like, call him immediately. And he's like crying on the phone. And he's like, I was moving from my old apartment to a new one. And when I was loading up the boxes, Peterson was right behind me. And some dude literally snatched him. And where we lived at the time, I lived in Old Southwest Reno, it was becoming like a thing, dog napping. To the point where, you know that park on the Plumas Park right there? People stopped going because they would let their dogs off leash. And the dog would run to go get a ball, and somebody would grab a little dog who they knew that they could get money for and take off with the dog. It was a whole thing. So we put up signs. We call the SPCA. We call everywhere. We don't even know what to do. And about 4 days later, he gets a letter in his mailbox. No postage. No return address. And it just said... this is how much money we're demanding. I think it was $500 or $1,000 if I'm remembering. It's been a while now. And for every day that you do not pay us, we will cut off a paw. And we'll keep cutting. So you're going to meet us at this Walmart in Carson City at this time. Blah, blah, blah. So we call the police and... they get involved. They're like, okay, so this is an actual crime, like to be holding a dog hostage and threatening to hurt it. So basically, they left a number, but it was like a burner probably, and the police left him a message. It was basically like, just so you know, if we catch you, when we catch you, you're doing actual time, like real time. Like kidnapping a dog, we'll write you up, probably never going to get any time. Threatening to hurt a dog now that has become a serious crime. That is against the law. You will do some time. Even if you never hurt the dog. So immediately the guy calls back to the police. And they're like, okay, here's what we'll do. If you have 2 days to get this dog to any Reno PD office, just come, turn the dog in. You will not be arrested. But if you don't turn this dog in, you will be arrested. So do you remember I don't know if you recall, but back then we had a police station inside of, like around the outskirts of the movie theater right there. We had a little station. Do you remember that?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I think it's still there.
They closed it. Well, he brought it in at lunchtime. And the girl working the desk was just filling in. She was like, sir, we do not take dogs here. No, I don't care what anyone told you. They told you wrong. You have to turn that dog in at the SPCA. Which he never did. And we never saw the dog again. Never heard from him.
How did you know that the dog?
Police called us. They were like, we are so sorry. For real, like, we're so sorry. She didn't know. She was filling in. Mm-hmm.
Dog ransom. You've gone through dog ransom.
So probably every couple of months, I look for him. Everywhere. I mean, sometimes I see him. It's been about 9 years.
Since this happened.
Mm-hmm.
And you think he's alive?
He's as old as Max. So I still, occasionally, sometimes around town, I think I see him. I'll pull my car over. I'll ask the person. I'll have them show me. But he was such a distinct looking dog. I'll show you a picture. He's very distinct looking that you couldn't mistake him for another dog. Not when you got up on him.
I just can't believe that.
Truly, this is a true story. So every day, or once a week, I'll go on to Instagram. I'll go on to little sites, and I'll look for him. I mean, he's such a, distinct-looking, pretty dog. And every time I might come close, but it's not him. So I get off the phone with you on, was that Saturday?
Yeah.
Get off the phone with you on Saturday. And I have an alert set up on my phone that if there's a new posting where someone uses hashtag Chewini, hashtag whatever, it'll tell me. That's how I've been trying to, I mean, you can't, I mean,
you really are still looking for Mr. Peterson.
It's my child. I mean,
it's so sweet. I know.
There's no way that I could just let him. I don't know. Is someone taking care of him? Did they hurt him? Did they?
I mean, that would be.
And I was his mother. Like, he's like, where did this bitch go? Wait, it gets better. So my phone, I got the phone with you on Saturday.
Yeah.
My phone is like, buzz, 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 buzz. And I open my phone, and there he is. I almost couldn't believe it. I actually had to look. You know when you're looking at something and you're like, okay, no. This really nice young lady in Florida who just had adopted him about 4 years ago. She said that he had a long history of being in and out of shelters. And her father had passed away. And she adopted him. She was lonely. She was grieving. She adopted him. I was like, I'm so happy that, like, he got you through your grieving, but I want my dog back.
Did you say that?
Yeah. Like, I seriously, I'm like, if it's the last thing that I do, I just want to see him and to know he's okay. This is the last thing I do in this life. Just want to know he's okay.
What did she say?
Not to mention Max went through horrible depression. Horrible depression. I mean, can you imagine you're a dog? This is your homeboy. The motherfucker just gone?
So, what'd she say to that?
She was like, I really just have to, like, think about it. I was like, well, think about it like this. If it was your child, someone just, like, took your kid, and you found him a decade later.
So she's had him for 3 years.
She's had him for about 3 years. She said he came from another SPCA, like somewhere in the Midwest. So whoever it was probably was traveling, was a piece of shit. And then over time, Peterson's made his way across the country, 3,000 miles away.
Right. Wow. How did you get the alert?
You know how on your Instagram, like on Twitter, if someone hashtags something, you can set up an alert for a hashtag.
Oh, yeah, like trending.
Mm-hmm. So I set it up for Cheweenies. There's not that many fucking Cheweenies. It's not like it's a fucking German Shepherd. And so sure enough, this is her feeding him a puppuccino. The look on your face is wild. That's the picture that I originally saw. That's him sleeping. And that's the top of his head. I think there's another picture where you can kind of see the side of him.
Have you saved all of these?
Of course, I have every picture of my child. What are you talking about? It's my fucking child, dude. Is that not wild?
So how did he end up in Florida?
Don't know.
Well, he has all his paws, so he looks happy and healthy. Wouldn't you agree?
He's got all of his paws. Yeah, he looks great. He looks happy. You know, everyone's kind of like, you can't take the dog from her. I'm like, I can take what...
But you had him, how long did you have him?
I had him for 3 years.
And now she's had him for 3 years.
Right.
So we're at a real stalemate.
Yeah, the only difference is her dog wasn't kidnapped from her.
That is the big
and then
huge.
held for ransom.
That is the huge difference.
Gone through
here.
a thing with the police about the paws.
So I'm just saying now it's her child, right?
Yeah, she was holding him for me. Thank you. If your child had been kidnapped and another person raised them and adopted them thinking that it was their child, at some point you're going to be like, okay, cool, but like, can I see this kid? I still gave birth to this kid. Can I like just make sure they're cool?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm open to like seeing him.
I'm very
when I tell you that
I'm very nervous.
I look through hours and hours of photos every weekend. I know.
Like they're saved, they're ready.
Oh, and it's not even like, and there were runner-ups. So
you told her about the kidnapping.
I told her everything. I wanted to be honest. I mean, there's runner-ups. If anyone gets ever, that's not even him, but it looks kind of like him. But yeah, I get all the time. I couldn't believe it was him. I mean, I must have went through every photo and because he's such a photogenic dog, she's taken 1 million photos of him. But she's just never used the hashtag Chewini.
I don't know. Maybe I am a sociopath. I'm not seeing the connection here between child and child, you know?
No, I'm not saying, obviously, he's not a child. I mean, he's a dog. But, like, it almost makes it worse because he was relying on me and his father to take care of him.
Yeah, but you did your job. Dad.
No, he did not. Up. Yeah, he was an idiot. That's why we weren't together.
I was going to say, I feel like it all really worked out for the best.
Duh. But he's the one that suffered. And I don't know what he's been through. I don't know. It looks
like he's drinking puppuccinos and...
It was his first one she gave
up.
him. It was the first one she gave him. And that really, really fucking burned
me. That should have been your first. I get it now.
You know?
Yeah. And
well,
that
no,
is
what burns
a crazy
me is
story.
that Max has been living in the lap of luxury. He gets puppuccinos all the time. This motherfucker's the same age. He's had to wait 13 years to get a goddamn puppuccino?
I want to be as supportive as you need me to be.
Are you telling me I shouldn't take this dog back from this woman?
I would strongly suggest against it. Sounds like he's been through enough trauma. And maybe if she's grieving and he's like
grieving for 3 years, her grieving's over. Let's move on.
Like her.
I didn't kill her dad.
No. I know, but I'm just saying, like, you have your fam. You know, like the boys have each other and Peaches.
Yeah, but I think about
and
Max
then you have
seeing
the husband and the stepdaughter, and you just have like the life, and then she just has Mr. Peterson,
which is a win,
and her late father. Maybe a couple pics might suffice.
She's a hairdresser. She's a very nice girl.
Yeah, she seems like
cool, but I don't know that she's cool. What if she's not? What if she's like?
I don't know.
What if she's
she
not good
only
down?
Takes pictures of her dog, like you said. I mean, I think he's getting the, you know.
I think
open to interpretation.
I think about Max, okay? And I think, yeah, he's got a great memory.
Yeah.
What if he's like super pumped to see this dog?
You know, I know Max. I see him weekly. Max is coping fine.
I don't know.
Okay. Well, you know, please write in your suggestions.
You guys, if this was your dog, and you went through I'm not kidding, like I'd stop people on the street.
You are still searching, which I like brought a little tickle to my heartstrings. It did.
Yeah.
But now you're trying to kidnap a dog.
Excuse me?
You're trying to reverse nap the dog.
Just trying to get my property back.
Now, if she was the kidnapper, yeah, go on.
But why are you making me ask for the dog? Just give me the fuck. If that was me and I got a message and someone said,
I've had a dog for 3 fucking years and I get this pop off message on Insta that's like, yo, that's my dog. He got kidnapped.
I'm gonna every picture.
I'm going to write back and I'm going to say, not anymore. And then I'm going to pop a crispy off me with bunny ears behind him. There's no fucking way if I've committed 3 years of my life to a dog that you're getting that fucking dog.
No, I know you. I'm telling you.
Like, we're going down.
You would give...
Unless you come nap him back.
No, I know you. You would give the dog up.
No, I would... Well, I don't
No,
care,
I know you.
But I don't care... I'm saying if I cared like you care about dogs, like she cares about dogs, you're not getting the dog. I would for sure give the dog back. I'd be like, oh, it's your dog? Yeah, cool. How do you want? FedEx, UPS? Like, how do we do this? You're paying shipping. You know what I'm saying?
Let's get this dog out of here.
Yeah, let's get him out of here. Let's get him home.
Let's get him home.
Let's get this boy home.
I don't know that she necessarily will
But if she is like
I don't think that she necessarily will give me the dog.
I'm going to venture, I would bet my tit that you're not getting that fucking dog back. Like, this whole tit, gone.
Well, I kind of...
This tit is on the table.
Okay, now hear me out.
And it's a large tit.
I did say we could start small. How about, can we FaceTime? I just want to see him. Seriously.
I know you're being dead serious.
I'm dead ass.
I'm trying to meet you, and you know it's hard for me right now. You need another dog. We need another dog person here in a 3-way interview so that you guys can really vibe off that. Because, like, even if you called me and were like, can I FaceTime the dog? I'd say, gosh, that is uncomfortable.
I will tell you that I summed up the first contact because it was so random. Like, I woke Bill up, and I was just like, are you sure? Like, this is him. Bill's like, that's him.
How would Bill know? How he compared the pictures.
Mm-hmm. He was just like, I was like in my nuts.
Did you call your ex?
No, Bill's known me since my ex.
Call the father.
Bill's known me since I was with my ex. He's known me for years. So he knew what the dog looked like too. So he knew the minute he looked, he was like, that's Mr. Peterson.
What's his name now?
Speedy. You know what I mean? She didn't even give him a good name.
She really caught that Regal effect, didn't she?
She didn't even give him a good fucking name. You know what I mean? Like,
what if she named him Mr.
And he's living in Florida. I mean,
that sounds like a real Mr. Peterson move, though.
Well, he's retired.
I was gonna say,
yeah,
he's only missing his sunglasses and his fucking Hawaiian shirt. He's fine.
I don't know. We'll see. I know everyone thinks that I should just let this woman keep... Like, someone was like, I cannot believe that you actually sent her a message. I said, what? I sent her a message immediately, and I explained the whole situation. And then I said, I know this sounds crazy. I know I sound crazy. But and again, I can tell you I'm not crazy, but I'm sure, again, that's what a crazy person would say. But here's all the documents. Here's the court papers. Here's the ransom note. Here's the dog. Like, I'm not fucking... insane. Here's the post from us trying to find him.
No, the whole process working up to it wasn't insane. It happened, right? You get a dog napping note and you're like, okay, I'll pay it.
Right.
Call police, do the whole thing. Messaging somebody 9 years later about this dog and then asking for it back.
Okay, I didn't ask for him back.
We're treading waters.
I said I just... Like, one,
as your good friend, you know? I have to pull, like, I'm grounding you. I might not be a quote-unquote dog person, but I'm just pulling you back.
It's because I'm telling you, because you've never had a dog that you've loved so much.
I think Bill over here is fucking fully supporting you.
Oh, Bill is like,
yeah, and
when do you want to go get the dog?
Yeah, like road trip.
He also lost a dog, though. He lost a dog. A dog died on him, and it was an accident. So he knows, because I was just like, well, if you could bring your dog back right now. From all those years ago to bring it back now, would you do it? He's like, in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
He's like, I get it.
You lost a dog.
Uh-huh. It's horrible. And it's one thing to, like, if your dog passes away. It's another thing if someone steals your dog, threatens to hurt it, and you don't know what happened to him.
I mean, that's a wild dog story. I'm being serious. That is very off the cusp. I mean, I'm sure a lot of people out there in the audience are like, oh, my God. No. Wow.
It was like switched to... It was like switched at birth, you know, and they just like
people are comparing that.
Yeah, when they're like, ma'am,
to this dog situation.
They're like coming in the room like, ma'am, and she's like, where's little Christopher? And they're like,
I mean, it's fucking traumatic.
The nurse is like, ma'am, we don't know what happened. We called an Amber Alert. The baby's gone, and then that's it.
Yeah, like I see, like you're trying to like, I see what's happening here.
Because I'm just trying to draw you in because I feel like you're confused.
Well, frankly, you're right.
Because I don't see what you don't see is the problem here.
Yeah.
Like, if I were her, I'd have called me immediately.
I
would have FaceTimed me immediately.
Yeah.
I'd have been like, this is the wildest story. I got to get this bitch on the phone. But I'm also a curious little bird.
Yeah.
I would have been like, okay, let's hear it.
Yeah.
Because I would have really wanted to see, are you on meth?
Yeah.
Like crack, maybe the old
mental
crystal?
Illness can still DM.
Right. Maybe the booger sugar. You up late? What's going on?
I mean, I just hope whatever happens is going to happen the way it needs to.
I mean, she has purple hair. I can't let Mr. Peterson live the rest of his life out with a woman who has purple hair.
Let me just tell you that I hope you get the closure that you need.
I mean, she better not make him a support dog. That is not what he's meant for.
You know what really is the clear signs of an inadequate dog life is when you're the sole propriety of somebody's Instagram. I would be worried about his well-being, too.
It wasn't just the dog. I mean, she had dogs, and she had the dog.
If you had that many photos screenshotted, just that alone lets me know that he is high priority.
Yes.
No. Who knows? Maybe they're the loves of each other's lives. Maybe you were his mom, but maybe he was, like, supposed to go and find that one.
Yeah, I don't think that's how that went. I mean, again, he was kidnapped, so it's not like we were at the park. He kept running. He he went to go catch the ball and just kept running.
It's this little thing called destiny.
I don't see it. I don't see it.
Yes,
and I do think it was destiny.
Stockholm syndrome.
Because I believe if I was meant to never find him, I would have never found him on Instagram with a girl in Florida.
No, I mean, this whole thing.
The chances of this happening.
I think that the fact that you've been looking for him all this time, like, really puts me over the edge with this story. Like, very sweet, very special. Yeah.
Oh, I call the SPC all the time. They're like, Alex, it's been a while. So I don't think anyone's going to turn him in. I'm like, just in case. He's chipped.
Oh, he is.
Mm-hmm.
So.
But after so many years, you have to get the chip replaced. We could see where around he's at, but you can't see a pinpoint. And that's how we knew he was in California. Mm-hmm.
So somebody kidnapped your dog, drove him to California, and then chose Carson City?
No, they were in Carson with the dog.
Oh.
But then once they went to go turn the dog in and she said, no, thank you, boom, in California. The next signal's in California.
Well, at least
because a lot of the chips don't go off. Like sometimes if they've had the chip a long time, you're going to get like sometimes a weaker signal. And it's not always going to be exact. Remember like when MapQuest first came out?
Yeah.
And it would be like, it would show you where you were and it would just be like super broad. Or like when you lose your phone and you go find my iPhone.
I mean, you're talking 9 years
like,
ago. Like,
yeah.
I believe it. Yeah.
And then over time,
you're going to have to do what you need to do.
Out.
Yeah, yeah.
That was it.
And that was Mr. Peterson. And then he got Instagram.
And then he went on Instagram.
And you found him.
I've been searching for years.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm going to sleep on it some more. And I really took it out on the Apple guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. You guys, I had to call Apple because something was wrong with GarageBand. Regardless, I hate when somebody talks to me as a woman like I'm a fucking idiot. And he kept being like, do you know what stereo is? Do you know what mono is?
Yeah.
I was like, hey, homie, I am telling you it's this drive. And at one point, I got so irritated. I just started talking over him, you know, when you're so annoyed.
Yeah.
So I was just like, okay, well, if that's the case, and I kept like, we were sharing a screen. And so I was just like aggressively pointing with like the mouse.
Like he knew it was a
mouse. And I was circling. And he was like, listen, okay, I hear you're frustrated. I know you're frustrated. I said, no, I don't think you do. I've had a very long week, okay? I just found my dog after 9 years.
I just found my son. You should have said that. You should have really led with that.
I said, I found my dog. He's like, what? I said, yeah, my dog got kidnapped. Found him on Instagram.
And then he was like, you know what she is? She's stable.
He was like, wow, that's fucking rough, dude. I said, yeah, you know? Someone else is raising him. I got to watch some other bitch give him a puppy chino. I'm not into it. Okay? And now you're fucking asking me whether or not I fucking know the difference between goddamn stereo and motherfucking mono.
You have had quite the week. You've had it.
It's been a lot of emotions.
I can feel it.
It's been a lot.
Yeah, it's a real
So I'm just trying to make it through the rest of this week without fucking crying or murdering somebody.
Yeah.
Because they're not going to understand.
I just hope you don't take it out on the Florida gal because,
No, I got to get the dog back. I got to be kind, like a squirrel. Just drop little nuts.
I cannot believe you were
I'm taking in her Instagram so I can really get to know her. Like, I'm learning her. Like, I'm like, how much money is it going to take for you to give this fucking dog up?
Well, she has purple hair, so...
Let me see. I want you to make one post about, how times are tough. I need one more COVID shutdown. One more to get this goddamn dog back. That's all it's going to take. One COVID shutdown. She's a hairdresser. She can't do hair during fucking COVID season.
It's true.
She's going to be tight on bills, tight on money. And you know who's going to come along? Auntie Alex.
And then you know what you're going to do? You're going to take the only quarantine partner she has.
No, go to the SPCA, get a different dog.
Sounds like a win-win-win.
Or you know what? Start bracing yourself now. Go get another dog right now. Work him into the cycle. Work him into the team. Get him a fucking puppy chino. All right? And then explain to the one dog, this one's got to go. Get a puppy. They're easy to fall in love with. You think Mr. Peterson's great? Bitch, wait till you get a puppy.
You're going to need to sleep on it. I think we might have to do a poll.
I will send this bitch a dog. And if these dogs don't start fucking acting right, I might send one of these motherfuckers over to her. Here, you're so lonely, let me get you another fucking dog. Here. But that one, I'm going to need that guy back. That specific dog. Let me tell you something. AP, before we wrap up, you guys, I just want to explain just a couple of things really quick. Mr. Peterson had self-trained himself, okay?
Yeah.
No, let me explain to you. When he heard silverware hit a plate, he immediately went to his bed because he knew it was dinner time. He would sit there and he would turn his back to respect you while you ate dinner. And the minute you got up and you would turn on the water, he knew that meant dinner was done. He could get out of his bed. I didn't teach him that. I don't know who did.
Well, he's, like you said, he's just frankly polite.
He also was very polite to other dogs. If he ran faster than another dog and that dog was going for a ball, he'd run really fast, get the ball, and bring it to the dog.
Kind, giving.
He also sat on my shoulder like a parrot. He had figured out a way to balance his little Chiweenie body on my shoulder. I'd walk around just like cleaning and shit with him on my shoulder like it was super normal. Perfect balance. Hardcore.
Parkour.
A great core. Just never moved.
Parkour. Parkour Chiweenie.
Parkour Chiweenie. Mm-hmm. Beautiful eyes. You could get lost in them. And he loved to let me dress him up. He wore little shoes, and he had one year he went as Superman. One time I got him a top hat and a cane. It really looked like he was going out in the town. You know who doesn't like dressing up? These assholes. Okay? Peterson? Gang.
Yeah.
I'd let him pick out his own outfits. I'd take him into the store, and he'd pick out his own outfits.
Yeah.
This was a one, and you guys have all had one.
Yeah.
A one-of-a-kind dog that you're just like, this is my homie. We're soulmates.
Yeah. You know, everybody does in their lifetime have like one dog. If you had one, that was like better than all the rest. But I'm going to tell them that you said that.
Oh, I tell them every night when they go to sleep. I love you, but just know.
But just know I'm looking for Peterson.
I'm still actively looking. It's like Unsolved Mysteries, but for dogs. Never stop looking. So anyways, you guys, write in. Let me know what you would do. What would you do if your dog got kidnapped? Same scenario. You found your dog 9 to 10 years later. You wanted your dog back. Would you take the dog back?
By force?
If the dog, first of all, if this bitch was even close to me, Arizona, Colorado,
I don't even want to know. I
wouldn't even Instagram her. I'd have went my ass up there and got my fucking dog. I'd have called the police. I'd have went up there and I'd have got my fucking dog. Because how do I know she's not in cahoots? How do I know, goddammit? You don't know.
Yeah.
How the fuck did he make his way to Florida? I can tell you didn't run there. That's what I fucking can tell you. So you guys, anyways, write in. Let me know at thehatejournals@gmail.com. And, of course, you guys know you can follow our website at thehatejournals.com. And, of course, our Instagram and Twitter. Our Instagram is The Hate Journals. And, of course, Twitter is Hate Journals. All right, guys, we love you. Let me know.
Love you guys.
Love you guys. We'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.
You are fun.